I greet you in Jesus' precious name. And as I'm greeting you, can you hear the dove in the background? He's greeting you too. He's saying, Shalom. The peace of the Lord be with you. And you know, peace comes when you remember that God never forgets His promises. Never, ever. Now, you sitting there, madam, and you're saying, I'm sure God's forgotten the promise He made me, Angus, because I still haven't had an answer, and that was 10 years ago. You see, for the Lord, 1,000 years is like the blinking of an eyelid. So, time is not an issue for God. God said it, I believe it, that settles it. Isn't that what that old Yorkshire plumber used to say? I've adopted that saying. God has never forgotten you. God always remembers. I really want you to understand that. Always. Problem is, with us, with you and me, we become impatient, we don't wait for the Lord, and then we make our own plan. What happened to King Saul, the first king of Israel? He was a very handsome man. He stood head and shoulders above any other man in Israel. And he was chosen by God, and Samuel the prophet anointed him to be the first king of Israel. And he was a good king. But the one time he was in a battle, and the enemy was getting bigger, and his soldiers were starting to run away. And he was waiting for Samuel to come and to offer up a sacrifice to God so that they could start the fight. And Samuel never came. And so he said, who's Samuel? I'll do it. And as he started doing it, who came over the hill? Samuel the prophet. And Samuel said, your anointing has departed. Why? Because he didn't wait. You need to wait. God is coming. There's a young girl watching this program now. She says, I have been waiting for the man of my dreams. He still hasn't come, Uncle Angus. I'm just going to marry that guy down the road. I don't really love him, but I want to get married. Don't do it. You'll regret it. You know what will happen? You'll marry him. And I'm sure he'll be good to you, but he won't be your first love. And then what will happen is, maybe 6 months, a year's time, the man will walk down the road and you'll see him and you'll know it's him. But you didn't wait. Don't do that, because God always remembers. God never forgets. If we go to the first book in the Bible, the book of Genesis, and chapter 8 and verse 1. Remember now, Noah and his family and all the animals have been drifting on the water for 150 days. They must have been saying, Lord, where are you? Have you forgotten us? Okay? And this is what it says. Genesis chapter 8 verse 1. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. That was the end of the flood. And what did God do? He put a rainbow there to remind Noah that I will never flood the earth again. Have you ever seen a rainbow? Of course you have. And so have I, because God remembered. Now you might be sitting there and saying, has God remembered my plight, my problem? Yes, He has. I've been praying for my son for 3 or 4 years, and he still hasn't come to Christ. I know that George Muller, who started the children's homes in England in the 1800s, 120,000 children went through his homes. He had a list, they found it out when he had died, of men that he had been praying for, some of them for 50 years. And as they came to Christ, he would tick them off, and he ticked off that whole list. God remembers. He says, call unto me, and I will answer you, and I will show you great and mighty things of which you do not know. Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 3. It's God's telephone number. Call unto the Lord, and He will remember. He never forgets. And He has got your case, and it's going to be answered in this life. Goodbye.